Hello, you're watching a series on Sugar Bytes Factory. My name's Tom Cosm and I'm going to be showing you the Arpiculation tab. Okay, so the Arpiculation tab has everything to do with the pitch, intonation, and Arpeggiator. I'm just going to go through these. There's some pretty basic stuff to start with. We have a fine tuning. So this is kind of like a master tuning thing. We can go up in semitones if we want. You can go a whole octave, all the way up to 36. The next thing is the pitch factory. This is quite interesting. This lets you choose a particular scale and then a root note, and it makes sure that it only plays notes within that scale. So at the moment it's on chromatic. But if I was to choose something like major, set the root note as C. This is actually a piano around the edge here, if you can't notice. It's black notes and white notes. So I'll set it on C. Let's see what happens if I play a chromatic scale now. That's handy if you find yourself hitting lots of dud notes. The next thing is, we'll just turn that off. The next thing is the glide, so we can move about and have the notes shift to each other. And you can make this as short or as long as you want. We have a couple of modes here with the glide. This little 2-fingered, 3-fingered thing, what this means is that it will only glide if it receives the note before you've let go of the last one. So I can go like so, but if I hold this note and play the other one, it'll glide. But if I just hit the notes, we get no glide. The other mode here is this kind of steps or stairs. What this does is it moves in semitones rather than a smooth glide. So it actually goes up in semitones chromatically. Let me show you how that works. Very cool. We have our bender, which is basically our Pitchbend Range. So this is by default +2, -2. But we can change this quite drastically. We can go up to 36, -36. A lot of fun. And we have this really interesting Unisono thing. What it does is it combines all the voices into one single kind of super mega hyper voice. So I'm just going to play a note and bring this up for you. And this also kind of makes it monophonic. I can't play chords now, but it sounds really cool. Next on the list is the intonation area. This adds a pitch envelope to the start of the notes that you play, and you can specify how long that takes and how much of it is applied. So if I bring the amount all the way up for you and bring the time down quite slow and play a note, you can see this shape here. It's starting a little bit higher than the note that I'm playing. It always hits the note though. We also have this one which goes up and then down into the note. And this one goes up and then down, kind of like a sine wave almost, before it reaches the final destination note. And we can also do this in reverse, so if I pick this top shape, you'll notice it will now go up. Very good, and there's also a sloppy value here. This kind of randomly picks the point where it starts. So if you bring this up, every time you play a note, it's going to start at a slightly different pitch each time, but it will always resolve to the note that you've played. And finally on the list, we have the good old Arpeggiator. So let me just play you a chord without it. And let me turn it on. Very good. Now there's a few options here. Let's have a look at what they do. The clock source determines how quickly it goes and when the notes are played. So it's set to counter at the moment, which means it's going to stick to this clock value here, which is set to 16th notes. Oh, better turn it on again. But we can change this to 30 seconds or 8ths. Or if you want to go chip tunes, you can go really fast. I do like that kind of stuff. The clock source also has another few things you can do. You can change it to spawn mode, and what this does is it remains in time, but it randomly leaves out various notes. It kind of creates a bit of a random element to things. I'll play you a big chord. So you can hear it kind of randomly leaving notes out there. That's quite a lot of fun to play with. We can also trigger the notes moving forward with the sequencer gates, but we won't get into that for now. Moving over to the voice select area, this is the order that the notes are played in. So at the moment it's set to control, and that means it's going to stick to the direction which is defined in this option box here. So we have up. Let's make it faster. And turn it on to counter mode. We have up and down. We have up, down, no, down and up and down and up. And we have down, down then up, and then up to down, up to down. I'll make that a bit slower for you. So that's quite a lot of fun, some good directions and stuff there. We also have a random voice select option which picks random notes from the chord. And there's one more option which is cool, it's the matrix mode, and that means you can use the modulation matrix to actually determine the order the notes are played in via a source. So over on my sequences tab, I've just made a very quick little sequence, just 4 steps long, and I can apply that to the ARP voice destination here. So that means now that that sequence is going to control the order of the notes. Very cool little feature there. Finally, we have the octave range. So this kind of adds an additional set of notes above what you're already playing. At the moment it's set on 1, so if I play a triad, we're just getting the 3 notes that I play, but if I click on 2, it's actually going to add another triad above the one that I'm playing. And we can go all the way up to 6. Let me bring the octave down on my keyboard. And similar to the voice select, we do have a direction, so this is the order that the octaves will go in. So if I pick this one, the octaves are going to move up from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, and then they're going to come back down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So a lot of fun to be had with that arpeggiator. It's a very powerful one, really good tool. Finally, we just have the velocity curve on the gate. So this is just to determine what curve shape the velocity is.